This is Shani Kramer for Independence County Off-Road. Thank you for watching FLW Arkansas.
There you go, dude. That's a giant.
That's what I'm talking about.
You just won some money right there.
About bad. That's what I'm talking about.
Beautiful Greers Ferry Lake. Scenes like these certainly help you appreciate the wonders of Arkansas's outdoors. It's all good unless you're one of the best anglers in the state trying to figure out a pattern when the lake is 12 feet high and you're fishing around picnic tables. Our BFL Archie Division anglers had their hands full, and today's Bad Boy Mowers analysis episode is here to break it down. Let's first honor Morrilton's Wayne Dixon with what is our inaugural Chicken Salad Award, given to the angler who turns what could have been a bad situation into a better one.
Been a rough day. My motor shut down this morning. I come over from the Narrows. I lost a fuel rail. I'm leaving. I've got to be back here tomorrow for another one. So I've got to go to Horizon to get a new fuel rail put on the boat, then drive back tonight. So here we go.
What was the plan? What did you do today?
What I do,
Yeah,
I just salvaged 5 fish all day. I mean, I had no choice. I caught 12 or 15 keepers. They were all smallmouth. I got 2 blacks. There's barely keepers, so nothing to it. Rough day.
Wayne would go on to weigh in a nice stringer at 8 pounds 7 ounces, which tied for 17th place and was just 1 ounce out of the money. Pretty good for not having a working outboard. We followed Shannon Pierce for a little while. He had a little limit.
I finished my limit out. He lost a couple. We called 2 or 3 times, but they were just small. Small fish. Never could get on them today. Did real good. Caught about two limits today. Called a few times.
You had a lot of success.
Yeah, we got above the average. You know, that's what we was calling for. Beautiful day. Had a great time.
All right, we've got our favorite Oklahoma angler fishing in the Archie Division. Ben Blaschke is here with us once again. Ben, tell us, what was it like out there today?
Yeah, the fishing was pretty tough. They had dropped the water quite a bit overnight, and I think that pulled a lot of fish off the banks. There had been a lot of bass up in the grass and the bushes, and I started off this morning in the bushes. I had 1 fish at 9 o'clock, and I scrapped that. I said, okay, they pulled out. I grabbed a jerk bait. I ended up catching about 25 keepers on jerk bait. Unfortunately, they were all the same size, you know, 1.5 pound, 3/4 fish. But a lot of smallmouth. There's a ton of fish in the lake. It's really hard to get a largemouth keeper. I actually got one within about 5 minutes to go that helped. I don't know how much it helped, maybe 1 ounce actually, but it was a lot of fun. I love this lake actually. I mean, it's loaded with fish, but it's fishing kind of weird right now. I know 2 weeks ago it was on fire, but you know, it always is. 2 weeks before, 2 weeks after, right?
Well, it seemed like 2 days ago it was fishing on fire too.
It was. I actually came down and stayed all week. I don't get to do that very often, but I like to do what I can when I'm off, and I said, hey, let's just go up there and stay all week. So we did, and we caught a ton of fish and had a really fun week in a beautiful place.
Well, tell us a little bit, so for the people who are watching at home, when you said that they drew some water out of the dam and pulled water through, and you said that pulled the fish off the banks, explain why that happens.
Yeah, I mean, when they pull the water, all the bait that was up in the grass and the bushes, they pull that water down, it just sucks the bait out, and the fish just follow the bait, and it's just, even with the water high, it still pulls them out. So it's kind of weird, even though the trees are flooded, you feel like you're out in the middle of the ocean trying to, you know, just casting in the middle of nowhere, but those fish just pull off the bank. They're just gone.
So fish are a lot like people. We follow the food.
That's it. Follow the food. Absolutely.
It's the food chain. All right. Well, Ben, okay, we got Dardanelle. One more tournament to go. It's about 3.5 months away, so it'll be a totally different pattern than what we've got right now. But how do you like your chances there at Dardanelle?
Oh, I always like Dardanelle. It's a lot of fun, and we're going to all catch a lot of fish. I'm sure of that. So, I mean, I always feel like I'm going to do okay, but we'll see when we get there. Hopefully, I get some time to fish, you know, before the tournament. And I've got the Okie division as well, so we've got one more regular tournament there. Unfortunately, the super tournaments are on the same day, so I got to figure out which one I'm actually going to fish.
Okay.
I'm setting an 8th in the Okie division and 11th here, and then we'll see what happens. But yeah, so we'll see. I might not even be at Dardanelle.
Okay.
It just depends.
Okay.
But probably I will, because the regional for the Okie division's at Grand Lake, and that's a little bit closer than Kentucky Lake. So most likely I'll be at Dardanelle.
Here's a mowing tip. Mow your lawn in different directions with each mowing, especially those lawns with shorter grass types. Alternating the directions will ensure a more even cut and a healthier lawn.
Try to never mow your yard while your grass is wet. Mowing your yard while your grass is wet can lead to an uneven cut.
When mowing, try not to scalp your yard. By scalping, that means the blade's coming in contact with the dirt. It leaves an exposed area, kills the grass, and promotes weed infestation.
FLW Arkansas is brought to you by Superior Auto Group. Not just better, superior. And by Bad Boy Mowers. Mow with an attitude. By Costa Sunglasses. And by Certified Arkansas Bait Fish. Healthy, hardy, and safe. Log on to safebait.org. And by Intova Cameras.
Hi, Michael Sloan for Superior Automotive Group in Conway. Looking for a new truck? Shop all of the best brands in one place without jumping all over Central Arkansas. One customer specialist will help you find the perfect truck today. Faster, simpler, and more transparent. Superior.
What does it mean to mow with an attitude? It means 0 turns and full throttle. It's the power of 38 horses in a town of 10,000 people. It's like American Muscle got a PhD in rocket science. It's backing up your bark with serious bite. It's blood, sweat, and blades. What does it mean to mow with an attitude? Take a seat and find out for yourself.
Bad boy. Mow with an attitude.
Hi, Michael Sloan for Superior Automotive Group in Conway. Shop all of the best truck brands in one location. Make the short drive from anywhere in Central Arkansas to test drive one or all. There's no better place to buy than Superior Automotive Group in Conway. Faster, simpler, and more transparent. Superior.
I'm Scott with Cox Implement of Northeast Arkansas. Thank you for watching FLW Arkansas.
To take over the lead, first place, just to make you nervous, is $1,603. He's got a 5 bass limit. We're looking for 9 pounds even. You have a 5 bass limit. It's going to go 9 pounds. Bam, give it to him. 12 ounces of bass. He's our new tournament leader. Let's hold a couple of them up for $1,600. Just shy of 10 pounds, 9 pounds and 12 ounces is taking over this thing. Right there in front of that white camera. Say cheese.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have our co-angler champion on Greers Ferry, Tony Smith, 9 pounds, 12 ounces on one of the toughest days we've seen in a few years on the Arky division. How did you do it?
Caught the majority of the fish on a finesse worm. And my big bass come on a spinnerbait the middle part of the day out of some buckbrush.
Okay, all right. So did you start off fishing finesse, or did you see the? Okay, so you did start off like that.
Yes. Fishing for smallmouth only to try to get a limit to get biggers.
Okay.
Didn't happen, you know. So we left, come back a couple of times, and then went to go find some largemouth, and that didn't work either. So.
Went back.
Was happy with what we got.
There you go. You know, a lot of the anglers we saw were trying for the bigger fish, and saw that they had moved And so then a lot of adjustments were made to go finesse at that point. So good deal. Hey, describe your rig in detail. What was it like?
It was a Ned rig. I believe it's called the Deal, is the color name of it, from Z-Man, fishing on Seaguard 8-pound test line.
8 pound.
With the Ned rig head.
Okay. All right. But what time of the day were you catching your fish? Did they all come in the morning?
They are all day long.
Okay, so it was consistent throughout.
Consistent throughout. Probably went less than an hour of catching the fish all day long.
At what point in the day did you realize I've got a special bag of fish?
Within the last hour, I finally culled a spotted bass that was barely 12 inches long, and was a significant upgrade.
Okay. Have you ever won on the BFL before?
I've never won first place, and I've been fishing it since 2002.
Okay.
So it's been a long time coming.
We have our defending champion, Chris Layton, out of North Little Rock. This was a wild tournament. Of course, the water was up last year as well. We'd coming off of a storm front and everything. Right. But what happened out there today?
So, as far as I can tell, my fish didn't bite. I'm on the main lake. I'm on the north side with a south wind at 25 miles an hour, I guess. So it made it really tough. I couldn't really flip. I couldn't hold the boat. So I just pulled back, drug a Carolina rig just about half the day. Yeah. And we caught a lot of fish. I just didn't catch any good ones. 10 or 12 smallmouth, so it was a good day. We had fun.
You had nearly a 7-pounder last year. Come on.
I know. I kept looking for him. I was hoping or his son or somebody would come in. I didn't catch a black that would go over 15 inches all day.
Okay.
Yeah, I spent the last 3 hours trying, but I didn't catch a good black.
I would say if we had to summarize today's event in one word, we'd say surprising. Because based on what we thought was going to happen and the whole field, we did not get that.
No, not at all. So the smallmouth are doing wonderful on this lake, and you're catching a bunch of small ones. There's a lot of fry. I think they had a good spawn with the high water. It's going to take a couple of years, but at the end of the day, the smallmouth fishery is getting better and better. So, and you saw that at the scales. Everybody went after smallmouth.
Yeah.
So,
you know what's interesting about today? It's 3 o'clock right now. The weigh-in started just a little bit after 2 o'clock, and we're done.
Right.
We've weighed in the entire field that's going to weigh in fish. That lets you know it was a tough day.
Right, it's scary. But we live to fight another day.
That's right.
You know, Greers Ferry is a beautiful lake. Anytime you can catch smallmouth in Arkansas, it's a good day, so it's a good day.
Regular scheduled service on your mower, such as changing engine oil and filter, hydraulic filters, fluid, and air filter, will cut down on expensive repairs and leave more money for fishing tackle.
One of the great things about the Bad Boy mower is the easy access to the belts. As you can tell, it has the belt routing system in there in case you were to sling a belt off, easy to repair.
Hey guys and gals, do y'all want more time to fish out there on that lake? You ought to check out these Bad Boys. They will cut your mowing time down in half, and you'll have a lot more time to go out there and wet that hook.
FLW Arkansas is brought to you by Superior Auto Group. Not just better, superior. And by Bad Boy Mowers. Mow with an attitude. By Costa Sunglasses. And by Certified Arkansas Bait Fish. Healthy, hearty, and safe. Log on to safebait.org. And by Intova Cameras.
What does it mean to mow with an attitude? It means 0 turns and full throttle. It's the power of 38 horses in a town of 10,000 people. It's like American Muscle got a PhD in rocket science. It's backing up your bark with serious bite. It's blood, sweat, and blades. What does it mean to mow with an attitude? Take a seat and find out for yourself.
Bad Boy. Mow with an attitude.
Superior Automotive Group is Conway. We work hard to be good to our customers. That means a faster, simpler, and more transparent way to buy.
Superior seems to set a tone of that kind of no-hassle type approach.
With Superior, everything was laid out for me very clearly. My sales rep made sure she explained every step of the process.
It was always
What you saw, that was the price, that was the car you got.
We're Superior Automotive Group in Conway, where it's always faster, simpler, and more transparent. Superior.
I'm Matt McClung with McClung Equipment, and thank you for watching FLW Arkansas.
He's 51st ranked in the point standings, and he got it done. How about a 5-bass limit coming to the scales at 11 pounds and 9 ounces? He's our new tournament leader. Let's hold a couple of them up.
We have our tournament champion, Mr. Tyler Matlock. Now, Tyler, big day when a lot of people did not have a big day. Talk a little bit about what was so successful for you today.
Well, I didn't. I stayed in the upper lake up here. This Greers is kind of like two lakes. The lower lake is clearer water, and up here you got more color. Smallmouth pretty much dominate the lower end, and largemouth up here. And I choose to fish for the largemouth. I'm more comfortable fishing up here on this end. And things just went my way today. I only caught 7 keepers all day. Caught 3 of them on a spinnerbait. A chomper spinnerbait, and then caught 4 on a sweet beaver pitching in the bushes. Now that's the keepers. I caught, like everybody, caught a lot of small fish, but those was the keepers that I caught. This is a great fishery. It's a lot of fun to come because my wife comes and travels with me, and she can catch fish, and it's, catching fish is what this is about. Major League Fishing has proved that by letting people catch the 1-pound fish, and I love coming down here to this lake.
That's great.
It's a lot of fun because we know we're going to catch fish when we get here. It may not count, but we get to catch fish.
And that is what it's all about. Now, but what it takes to win is to catch the big fish. And so many of the anglers that we talked to were just unable to find those healthy largemouth that you were able to find. And so a lot of them had to adjust their patterns. They went to finesse style. They did everything they could just to fill out a limit. But you were able to find the big ones. And what do you think was your secret there?
Well, the secret to finding the big ones is, this may sound corny or old-fashioned, but when my maker decides for me to win, I'm going to win. And the biggest fish I caught today, I really didn't catch him. He was in a bush and gnarly and stuff. Never even felt him bite. And whenever I pulled up, I thought I was hung for a second, and then he hooked himself and then swum out of the bush. Wow. And was hooked right through the upper lip, and I believe that. I believe that when it's my time, it's my time. Yeah. And then there's times that it's not my day. Yeah. And when it's not, I go to the house and I enjoy coming, and I don't do this for a living. I do it for the competition and for the people here. And I enjoy this. This is what I work to retire for. I'm retired, and I'll tell you, I'm living proof that God will give a man his heart's desire, because he's given me mine.
That is great. And you get to do this with your wife, too.
And with my wife, and that's worth, a lot of guys, their wives. Nothing against women not liking to fish, but women and fishing is kind of a love-hate thing. Women either really love to fish, or they don't even want to be around the lake. And mine really loves to fish.
That's great.
And she loves to come with me, and she's not any trouble. And this is a trip to us. We'll come and fish as long as we're able, physically. We'll come and fish because this is like a vacation to us. Yeah. And when we catch fish, then it's just a bonus.
Yeah. And when you catch a lot of fish.
When you catch a lot of fish, it's a bigger bonus.
It's a bigger bonus with a big check and a trophy.
Yeah. Yes, and the trophy, she can have the money. Yeah. I want the trophy. I'll carry the trophy around to show all my buddies. I've fished all my life. This is only the second one I've ever won. And there's a lot of guys that never get to win.
Oh, yeah.
And so I'm tickled to death and just thrilled to be here.
All right, we want to talk about the secret to the success here, because this is one of the happiest guys on the tour that we've talked to. And when we talked to him on Lake Millwood last year, he talked about how much fun it is to be able to go and fish with you. And then he just talked about how you're a good fisherman too. So talk a little bit about this camaraderie here and this special time that you guys have together in retirement.
Oh, we love it. That's what we look forward to when we retired, was just to get to go and fish, because I dearly love fish.
Yeah. Well, and it's neat to be able to do this together, and that's what the BFL is all about, is to be able to, you get to go and fish some lakes that are close to home. You guys are from northern Arkansas, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you get to fish all around, and we've got some doozies of some lakes here, a varied waterway. I mean, Millwood is nothing like Greers Ferry.
No.
And Millwood was fun.
Yes,
Oh,
yes, it is.
I loved it.
Well, thank you so much for talking with us. Thanks for being brave and coming in as well. And congratulations on a big win. You guys have a great weekend together.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Don't cut your grass too short, especially during the cool grass seasons. A taller grass provides a more deeper root system. It looks better and is less likely to have weeds invade it. Try not to remove any more than the top 1/3 of the grass in one cut for a more healthy and lush-looking lawn.
Remove dirt, grass, and debris from the top and underneath your deck. This will keep your pulleys and belts moving freely and keep them from overheating. When you're done, you can hose off the deck and then simply turn on the deck, allow the bearings to heat up, and get rid of any excess moisture.
FLW Arkansas is brought to you by Superior Auto Group. Not just better, superior. And by Bad Boy Mowers. Mow with an attitude. By Costa Sunglasses. And by Certified Arkansas Bait Fish. Healthy, hearty, and safe. Log on to safebait.org. And by Intova Cameras.
Hi, Michael Sloan for Superior Automotive Group in Conway. Looking for a new truck? Shop all of the best brands in one place without jumping all over Central Arkansas. One customer specialist will help you find the perfect truck today. Faster, simpler, and more transparent. Superior.
There are easier ways to become a better angler. Join FLW today and take your fishing to the next level. Get the magazine, get on the water. Visit flwfishing.com/membership to find out more.
What does it mean to mow with an attitude? It means 0 turns and full throttle. It's the power of 38 horses in a town of 10,000 people. It's like American Muscle got a PhD in rocket science. It's backing up your bark with serious bite. It's blood, sweat, and blades. What does it mean to mow with an attitude? Take a seat and find out for yourself.
Bad boy. Mow with an attitude.
Hey guys, I want to point out this easy ride suspension that's patented by Bad Boy. These decks are very well built. You can stand on them. This is one of the best mowers made out there in the United States today. It has independent suspension on, count them, all 4 wheels to give you that nice smooth ride while you're cutting your grass.
When we are near Greers Ferry, we know Larry Nixon is nearby. When his younger brother Leland was on the water, he had this to say about Larry.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can't beat him for a brother. I promise you.
Well, you know, the hardest thing in the world to do is talk about somebody else that's fishing because you haven't practiced, but I would not have went up that river, number one. It comes down to his practice and where he's going to go. I never comment because it's his job.
Yeah, well, and that's the art angling is you know you've got memories, you know you have bad memories in certain areas, but when the fish seem to be telling you one thing, sometimes you go against your judgment.
Well, the way to win here is with largemouth. There's no doubt about it. Somebody will catch a couple good largemouth and win the tournament, and you're not going to do that if you just concentrate on smallmouth. You can get 8 to 11 pounds. If you're lucky, you'll get 11 pounds, but to get that kicker largemouth, you got to fish for them things, and you know, so you got to do what you got to do, and just do with what you've got the most confidence in. That's what fishing's all about.
Yeah, and that's going to be fun to see because he left that area eventually, went to go get a limit filled, and he indicated that he might go back to that area to try to get that kicker largemouth because he's fourth in the points, and he wants to be able to maintain that edge going into the last tournament.
Well, you know, points mean a lot, but as long as you make that tournament at the end, that's what it's all about. And, you know, if he don't mess up and just bomb plumb out, and I don't think he's going to do that. And winning the points, I don't know, is there something for winning the points?
Oh,
Is
yeah.
there
You get $3,000 for being Angler of the Year.
Oh, yeah, I think I'd have went and caught me 8 pounds of smallmouth and then went largemouth fishing.
Well, we'll see if that's what he ended up doing, yeah. Tell us, what was it like growing up in the Nixon home? I'm guessing it was an outdoors family.
It was very outdoors. We lived off deer meat and squirrels and chickens and whatever Daddy could kill and bring home. And, you know, he taught us how to fish and kept us on the water outdoors the whole time. It was a good thing about in the 60s. You know, there was a lot to do outside. There wasn't much to do inside.
Yeah, and that's a good thing about Arkansas. We have a lot to do outside here in the natural state.
That's absolutely true. It's a great state, got great outdoors. We got plenty of good fishing, and you know, it's a great state to raise your kids in.
Tell me about what's going on in Larry's world. Where are you off to next on the FLW Tour?
Well, I'm 28th in the points. I dug my way out of the big hole I built myself in Seminole when I bombed out almost completely down there, and I'm back up into 28th in the points, and we got one more tournament. It's at Champlain, and hopefully I'll just have a decent event up there and make the cup. That's the main thing.
Well, speaking of smallmouth, it's you think about Champlain, that's the smallmouth capital of the world up there.
It really is, but 15 or 16 pounds ain't worth a hoot.
Yeah.
You got to have 17 to 19 to, you know, both days to do good in that tournament. And but it's the greatest fishery that I've ever been to, other than maybe St. Clair.
Yeah, well, that's true. You've got a good history at St. Clair.
St. Clair, I love St. Clair. I've won a lot of money at that lake, and it's giant smallmouth, big water, and it's like fishing in a pond, and it kind of confuses the normal fisherman, but I'm a pond guy from way back.
Well, give us a little bit of advice for people who are watching FLW Arkansas right now that are thinking about tournament fishing and taking advantage of the great lakes and waterways that we have in Arkansas. This is a good way to get started fishing.
Yes, it definitely is. Get you a couple good spinning rods and learn how to spool them up with braid, and learn how to tie a good connection knot between it and your fluorocarbon. And if you do that and use small lures, little worms, little jig heads, little topwater baits, little jerk baits and stuff like that, you will always catch fish in Arkansas. And you know, as you progress and get bigger and stronger, then you can learn how to fish jigs and spinner baits and all them other things, but stick to spinning tackle to begin with.
Sounds good. Good advice from the General right here. Thanks for joining us again.
Thank you, Carl.
Good to see you. We thank Bad Boy Mowers for sponsoring this episode. Visit your local Bad Boy dealer today and start mowing with an attitude. Next week, we'll join you from Lake Dardanelle for the final stop of the season. It'll be a big event with a lot of things happening at the same time. Of course, someone will win the tournament, but we'll also crown Anglers of the Year. We'll also find out who made the top 45 to qualify for the regionals. It's all next week on FLW Arkansas. Cast and crew of FLW Arkansas stay at the Red Apple Inn anytime we get anywhere near Greers Ferry Lake. This is one of the historic hotels in all of Arkansas, and its beauty is unsurpassed. Give them a try. You've got a wonderfully unique setting with top-notch dining, golf, and of course, the great Greers Ferry Lake. Log on to redappleinn.com and book your stay.